tell you that was one of the biggest things. I was like, I cannot do this if I don't do that part right. I will be dragged. I don't want no parts of Black Twitter drags.
Teyonah Parris is transformative. No one role is like the last. The Juilliard-trained actor weaves in and out of genres and mediums quite comfortably. Her film and TV credits have been vast. She's portrayed real-life singer Mickey Howard in a biopic. She co-starred in Barry Jenkins' adaptation of Beale Street Could Talk. And she worked opposite of Jon Hamm on AMC Network's critically acclaimed television series Mad Men. And as impressive as her credits have been so far, 2020 is set to be a Marvel year. She's currently co-starring in the HBO Max film Charm City Kings alongside rapper Meek Mill. This December, she joins the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the iconic character Monica Rambeau in the highly anticipated Disney Plus original series WandaVision. And in 2021, she stars opposite Yahya Abdul-Mateen II in the contemporary take on the cult horror classic Candyman. And if that's not enough, it was recently announced that she will star opposite John Boyega and Jamie Foxx in the Netflix sci-fi feature film They Cloned Tyrone. We chat. Versatile does not even accurately describe what it is I think you do when you get in front of a camera or when you get on stage. You truly transform and melt into roles. No one role is like the last one you did before. And I don't think that that's something that a lot of Black women are afforded in this industry. And I would love to hear what it is you think that you are doing that really allows you to create that kind of space for yourself.
You know, I thank you, first of all. Thank you for saying that. That's definitely one of my goals when I look at roles and everything. Like, what does it have to say? How is it different from the last thing I've said through my work? I have been very, very blessed to play a lot of different characters, a lot of different women, and that I don't know what that's all about. I just, ever since when I first started, I've always been like, you know what, in my mind, I'm gonna lay low, play it cool, and just try to transform. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm very grateful that you noticed that in my work, because that is something I strive for.
There truly is this chameleon-like quality that I really appreciate. I mean, I was very excited earlier this year when we were all allowed to be outside at Sundance when I saw that you were in Charm City Kings. And then when I was watching the film, it took me a few beats, to be honest with you, to be like, oh, wait, that's Teyonah.
Yeah.
That really is it. And I feel like part of that probably comes from maybe your background in the theater. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But is that what it is that you're doing in a lot of these roles? You're really kind of leaning in to that stage background and that Juilliard training. Like, what is it that we are seeing in the output?
All I could say, I don't know what you're seeing, but all I can say what I'm doing is trying to tap into who these people are at their core. I did go through a lot of training. My high school was an arts high school. Then I was blessed to be able to go to the Juilliard School and study the craft of acting. I have done theater. It is a lot about what is the craft and the art of telling someone's story and just tapping into their humanity. And with Terry in Charm City Kings, I was really drawn to her because she is very different from anyone I've played thus far. She is very salt of the earth and a hard-working woman, single mom, raising 3 kids, one of whom passed away, and you learn that in the beginning of the film. And I just think it's so important for every type of woman, every type of Black woman, for her story to be told. I always feel blessed to be able to jump into that. And when I met with Angel, who directed Charm City Kings, it was always, we had a lot of conversation about who this woman was, because the film is based off of or inspired by the 12 O'Clock Boys documentary. And those were real people in there. And while our characters aren't made to be exact matches, one for ones, but they were inspired by. And I thought it was important to make Terry my own and how she fit into this story that they're telling. Sherman Payne and Barry Jenkins, that what they created on the page that was different from the documentary, but also still trying to bring the essence of who this working woman was. And I hope found a balance, because the real life woman, Coco, she is amazing. She is quite a character, quite a personality. No one can be Coco. Let's just say that. No, not me, not anybody but Coco. But I had a lot of fun. She really let me into her world and just shared some very personal things with me that I was able to tap into when telling Terry's story.
Oh, I love that. And I have to say, you absolutely nailed that Baltimore accent. That is a distinctive accent. And for Teyonah, because you killed it.
Thank you.
I thought it was great. Which brings us to this really great series coming to Disney Plus that extends on the Marvel Cinematic Universe with WandaVision. What made you want to be part of this world?
Child, that has been a childhood dream, to be a Marvel superhero. I can even remember, I've always said that, like, I want to be a superhero. And then when the MCU opened up, I think I was in college, and then it was like, oh, I want to be a Marvel superhero. I remember being in college and school and going to see, or right out of school, I can't remember, like Iron Man, and just seeing women who would kick ass in these kinds of movies. And I was like, I want to do that. And I don't know how or why, because Black women are not often afforded that opportunity. All of the women that I was watching were not Black women. So it was like, okay, right, sure. That's not going to happen, or who knows, and then it happened. And I wasn't, when I tell you it was not on my radar at that moment, it was not on my radar. But I'm very grateful to be a part of this universe. And Monica Rambeau is such she's such a badass in the comics, and I just can't even believe that this is happening. This is full on action movie mixed with sitcoms. It's wild. It's wild. I think people are going to be very, very excited.
Is the work that you're doing that people may not know about? This Uniquely You Summit that's coming up in November sounds fantastic. Tell me a little bit about why this is a cause that you had to get behind.
Thank you for even bringing that up. The Uniquely You Summit is an organization that I've partnered with in Philly. It's an organization that services young girls between ages 11 and 18 who are in middle and high school. And when I tell you the work that they are doing is so phenomenal, giving young women a space to discover, define, and empower who they are. It's just so beautiful. And I started working with them a couple of years ago, and I was just in awe. I was in awe. I was like, I wish there were something like this when I was growing up. And these girls are so smart. They're taking politics classes, social justice seminars, and things like this. And when I tell you they can speak and they're aware of social issues, and that's what the organization does, is allow the young girls to believe that they can be whoever they want to be, that who they are is enough, that the very thing I'm struggling with still as an adult, where I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough, or this and that. These women are passing that on to these young girls, that you are good enough, that your brown skin, your Black skin is beautiful. And it's just, I'm overwhelmed and so grateful that they allowed me to be a part of the organization. But yes, this November 13th through the 15th will be the summit. It usually happens in person, but because of the state of the world and coronavirus, it will happen virtually. You can sign up now, so please do.
Teyonah, you are amazing. I love you.
Thank you, beautiful. Give me these brains.
Coming up next on Another Act, Felicia Rashad.